In the last lesson, we created a table and graphed some points. We were given pictures, but this time we're going to take it one step further and we're going to be given an equation. So what we're going to do is we are going to replace x with each of these numbers from the table, solve for y, and then we'll have coordinates to graph. All right, so this equation says y equals negative 2x, which means negative 2 times x minus 1. We have to multiply first before we subtract. So negative 2 times negative 2 would be positive 4. Then positive 4 minus 1 would be 3. So we're going to graph negative 2, 3. So starting at the origin, we're going to go backwards 2, hop on the elevator, and go up 3. All right, let's try negative 1. If we replace x with negative 1, we're going to do negative 2 times negative 1. That's positive 2. Positive 2 minus 1, is 1. So to graph that, we're going to start at the origin, go backwards 1, hop on the elevator, and go up 1. All right, now let's try 0. If x is 0, negative 2 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So to graph that, we start at the origin. We don't go over at all. We hop on the elevator and we go down 1 because negative means down. If we replace x with 1, negative times a positive is a negative. So that would be negative 2 if we multiply. And negative 2 minus 1 more would be negative 3. So to graph that one, I'm going to start at the origin, go over 1, hop on the elevator, and go down 3. And now I notice this one shimmied to the side a little bit, so let's move it back. If you happen to notice a pattern in this table, feel free to use the pattern. I notice that it's decreasing by 2. So that would be negative 5. So to graph it, I'm going to go over 2, down 5. All right, so you're going to connect the dots. And you're also going to make sure that the line, either the dots or the line when you extend it, passes through one of the colored hearts. If not, that means you made a mistake somewhere. All right, let's try another one. The next one is a little bit silly. It has a fraction, but don't worry, it's not that hard. Half times a number also means half of a number. Okay, so if we replace x with, you know what, I'm going to start with positive 2. If we do half times 2, half of 2 would be 1. And then 1 plus 3 more would be 4. So to graph that, I start at the origin, go over 2, up 4. All right, half times 4 means half of 4, which is 2. And 2 plus 3 is 5. So I'm going to go over to 4, up 5. All right, I'm going to go back to this one. A positive times a negative is a negative. Okay, so it's going to be a negative answer. And then half of 2 would be 1. So it would be negative 1 for this part right here. And then negative 1 plus 3. I'm going to imagine a number line in my head, start at negative 1 and go to the right 3 times. I pass 0 and go 2 more. So that would be positive 2. So for that point, I'm going to start at the origin, go backwards 2, then hop on the elevator and go up 2. All right, if we did 0, half of 0, yeah, still 0, and add 3 more, that would be 3. So to graph that, I don't go over at all. I hop on the elevator and go up to 3. All right, so this one's a pretty easy one to notice the pattern. So that one would be 6 and 7. And you might also notice a pattern for the dots. So feel free to use the pattern if you need to. And then once you have all the points, you're going to connect the dots and make sure that line passes through one of the hearts.